sold out MetLife Stadium, where today the 16-0 and playoff-bound New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Washington Commanders. Washington Commanders 0-16 because they suck. Welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there at all is going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching the replay, this once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. It means the world to me. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight, shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Hey, anybody got anything to say, please feel free, fire away, throw in the chat box. I usually try to check on the chat box. I give it 5 or 10 minutes or so. I see something in there, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. So please feel free, fire away. Tonight's this is a video of mine or whatever. Is a little different. So I'm going to be reading stuff like pretty much like out of Wikipedia. This is I started in I think it was March of 2021. I believe that's when I started this channel. So this is the third Memorial Day that I've had this, and this is the third Memorial Day that I've done this tribute to these two guys. So I'm pretty much going to be like kind of zoned out, whatever. I'm going to be like reading out of Wikipedia. So I'll be in the zone for a little while. But before I get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below, the top link, it takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon, the second one's called the Lawrence Taylor, and the third membership level is called the Gridiron. Each one's got their own little perks to them. So if anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the world to me. And I thank you in advance. Thank you. If you are subscribed to my channel, thank you. Thank you. If you're not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon. That way, next time I go live or put a video out, you'll be notified, and it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you. And then finally, in the description box below, there's 2 Facebook links. Top Facebook link takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. I say this all the time, but basically my YouTube channel, my Facebook group, my Facebook page is all called the same thing. It's all called the New York, the New York Giants, the Gridiron. That way I'm more on, I can remember. It's not like, what's my page called? What's the YouTube channel called? It's all called the same thing. It dumbs it down for me, right? But in the group, we have over 3,400 members in the group. It's 7 days a week. Once I get done going live here, I'm going to probably spend the next couple of hours putting stuff in the page and in the group. But not only do I put stuff in here, but members post stuff in here as well, too. So there's a ton. I usually try to get, if I can, up to like about 10 different things a day in here. Whether it's a video, something showing some stats of a player, a post, a picture, something making fun of the Eagles or the Cowboys. Those are my personal favorites, by the way. I try to get it in there. But I said also, I got members post stuff in here as well, too. So you got a ton of stuff in here every day. Then the second Facebook link takes you to my page. All right, it's Facebook page. I'm the administrator, so I'm the only one that posts in here, but it's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. We have over 1,400 people who like it, and we have over 5,100 followers in here. So we're doing really, I'll tell you what, it's really, really doing good. The page is really, really doing good. Actually, I started the group before I started the page. So, so the group has over 3,400 members, and the page has over 5,100 followers. So, the page is really, really doing simply marvelous. But it's the same thing. I try to get up to, if I can, up to about 10 different things in here a day that I can. Sometimes in the off season, it's a little difficult. There's not a lot going on, but I try best I can. So whether it's a video, a post, a picture, something showing some stats of a player, something making fun of the Eagles or the Cowboys, right? And I don't commingle. So basically the stuff that I put, for the most part, whatever I put in a page, I don't put in a group. The stuff that I put in the group, I don't put in the page. I said, every now and then, if I see something really makes fun of the Eagles, I mean, I just want to share it with everybody because that's the reason why I exist on this earth, is to make fun of the Philadelphia Eagles. And if I see something that really makes fun of them, I just want to share it with everybody. So I might put that in both the page and the group. But other than that, I try to keep things as separate as I can. So if you go to the page and you like it, you follow it, and you go to the group and you become a member, you get a ton of New York Giants information every day. 7 days a week. And as I say in all the videos, if you go to the page and you like it, you follow, you go to the group and you become a member, and you're not 100% satisfied, you get your money back guaranteed. All right, all that stuff said and done. What's up, Terrence? The Eagles suck. Eagles suck. Oh, man. As I said, for me, I got two rules. One is the Giants win the Super Bowl. If that doesn't happen, rule number two, I only got two rules. If the Giants win it, it's, well, anybody but the Eagles. Even if I know, as much as it sucks watching Tom Brady winning, is what do you have? What's he won? 39 Super Bowls or whatever. Much as it sucked watching him win, I was pulling for him when they were playing the Eagles. I was the biggest Tom Brady fan ever. Tom Brady had almost 500 yards passing in that game. I mean, he almost set an NFL record passing yards in a game. I mean, if he had the ball like one more time, if he got like another 50, 60 yards passing, he would have had the NFL record for passing in a game. And that was in a Super Bowl. So, I mean, the Eagles defense was a freaking joke. They had the one sack, I think, that stripped Tom Brady of the ball. And I don't know if the Eagles got some points off of that or whatever it was, but I know they had a strip sack. Tom Brady fumbled and the Eagles recovered it. So that either stopped the Patriots for drive, or that they gave the Eagles some points off a field goal or something like that. But, I mean, other than that, Brady was just walking up and down the field all day against the Eagles. I mean, the Eagles, their defense was give up almost 500 yards passing in a Super Bowl. I mean, really? Yeah. Wow, what a special team. What absolute trash. But I can't stand the Eagles. So hopefully, once again, they don't win the Super Bowl again this year. I'll be very, very happy. Very, very happy. But as I said, like with this video, with this topic I got here, I started, I think it was somewhere in March, I think I was, when I started this channel in 2021. So this will be my third Memorial Day that I've had. And I've seen like videos and stuff in the past about these two gentlemen. So basically pretty much every Memorial Day is pretty much going to be the same thing. I mean, just going to obviously, well, first of all, also need to thank all the men and women, the brave men and women. You didn't see my ass going into the Army, the Navy, the Marine, none of that. You didn't see me doing that, right? So, I mean, the unbelievably brave men and women of our armed forces. Thank you. It's one of the reasons why I'm able to sit here almost in my pajamas talking on a YouTube video, at the middle of the night. We have freedoms that, if I wanted to after this, I can go out and get my car and drive down the street, get some gas, or go to a store and get some coffee, or I can do whatever I want, as long as it doesn't break the law, of course. But, it's because of brave men and women, like these two guys I'm going to go over that, we owe a huge debt of gratitude for. And you never, it's, yeah. Well, we in the armed forces. Yeah, I mean, you take all this stuff that we do for granted. It just, and a lot of it was, what we were fighting back in World War II, was, Hitler. I mean, not like the Taliban or anybody like that's any better, but I mean, Hitler wanted to rule the world. We were fighting Japan, so just, thankfully, because men like these two I'm going to go over who gave their lives, very heroic ways. There you go. Yeah. Desert Storm. So thank you. Yes. Thank you. I mean, and a lot of it, I mean, probably like you, it's I don't want to. They just take it for granted or something. Or that's cool. Yeah, it's now. Yeah, thanks. I mean, I was never there, you know what I mean? So, but it's, I mean, the stuff maybe hopefully you didn't see or experience or whatever, but I mean, a lot of guys and women come back and they're never the same, whether it's body parts missing or this is never the same. And it's because they want to do something, they want to do right for their country. They came back and, not everybody went over or, fought in battles or wars and all that. But I mean, so, people who did, just because maybe you came back didn't mean you're, just, oh my goodness, I couldn't even imagine horrible things that went on and everything. Just absolutely unbelievable. So I always want to make sure I say thank you, because I mean, a lot of times you think about, Memorial Day, cool, we got a barbecue going on, and it's obviously, Memorial Day is a hell of a lot more than just a barbecue or going in your pool. So I always want to make sure I say thank you very, very much for all the brave men and women out there that allows us to do the things. We got a lot of problems in this country, but we got a lot of great things too. A lot of it's due to that, throughout the years, brave men and women who fought in the military for us. So thank you. So the first guy is Mr. Lummus. Once again, I got 312 tabs open here. Now, Jack Lummus. Now, this guy, he's in the Giants Ring of Honor. He only played 9 games for the Giants, 1941. I believe the last game he ever played in was the 1941 championship game where the Giants got killed by I guess it probably was at Wrigley Field against the Chicago Bears. We lost 37-9. So he only played, he was an end. He only caught 1 pass for the Giants for 5 yards in 9 games. But that didn't stop him from being a hero. So he became like a second lieutenant, I believe it was. Well, first lieutenant. So he's got kind of a long one there. He passed away on Iwo Jima. So Andrew Lummus Jr. was born October 22nd, 1915. And he passed away on March 8th, 1945. He was an American professional football player and an officer in the U.S. Marine Corps. He was a 2-sport athlete at Baylor University. Lummus played as an end for the New York Giants, offense and defensive end of the National Football League. He fought and died at the Battle of Iwo Jima during World War II and received the Medal of Honor for his valor. He was born in Ellis Country, Texas, on a cotton farm. He was the youngest child and only son of 4 born to Andrew Jackson Lummus Sr. and Laura Frances Lummus. He attended Ennis High School from September 1931 through May 1934, where he was a star in football and track. He received all district honors for football in his sophomore and junior seasons. He dropped out before the end of his senior year due to the views of his family that the cost of graduating, such as buying a picture and gown, were too wasteful. So considering the ongoing depression, so he dropped out. So then this may have also been affected by a case of influenza he contracted. So he finished his high school education at Texas Military College on a 2-year sports scholarship and won all conference honors for his participation in football. And he was 6'3". He was a tall guy. Both these guys are tall. Yeah, 6'3". He was a little under 200 pounds. I mean, back then, 6'3", he was an end. It's a nice target for an end back then. Let's see. He graduated on May 28, 1937, receiving scholarship offers from Baylor University and Tulane University. He enrolled at Baylor on September 14, 1937. There, he was an All-Southwest Conference center fielder for 3 years and an outstanding end on the football team. Those 3 years, the Bears finished 3rd in baseball, and Lummus was considered to be the best center fielder that had ever played for Baylor. In football, he played first string end wearing number 53. For 2 consecutive years, he was nominated by the Associated Press to the All-American team. And in 1938, he made honorable mention for the team. He was sometimes compared to Sam Boyd. before he left Baylor, he signed a minor league baseball contract with the Wichita Falls Spudders and a uniform player's contract with the Giants. I think he made $125 a game, I think it was. On May 26, 1941, an Army Air Corps recruiter came to the school. Lummus and 25 other students enlisted in the Air Corps and signed up for a civilian flying school as a result of this visit. While waiting for the Air Corps to call him, Lummus inexplicably dropped out of Baylor. He was going to graduate soon, and his academic record showed satisfactory grades. The ongoing war in Europe was thought to have influenced his decision. After dropping out, Lummus joined the Class D Spudders of the West Texas New Mexico League. He played right and center field. On July 6, 1941, he played his 26th and last game for the Spudders. The Army Air Corps had called on him to honor his enlistment papers. In those 26 games, he had a .257 batting average. Lummus reported to Hicks Field. This kind of, I don't want to say funny or whatever, but he enlisted to Hicks Field, 40 miles northwest of Fort Worth, Texas, to enroll in flight school. There he was licensed by the Army, but run by civilians. While making his first solo flight, he flew the flight plan and landed without flaw. While taxiing on the runway, however, he accidentally clipped a fence with his wingtip, washing him out of flight school. Now, perhaps if he had made flight school, maybe he may not have perished on the ground as he did. But the New York Giants football career. He then traveled to the New York Giants training camp in Superior, Wisconsin, as one of the 30 players who made the Giants roster. He wore number 29. He had signed on as a free agent, received $100 monthly salary. I thought it was $125, but he made the team as a rookie end and played in 9 games. He caught 1 pass. On December 4th, 1941, the Giants were playing their arch rival, the Brooklyn Dodgers. I think the Dodgers won that day 21-7. But I know the Giants didn't win that day. Around halftime, the Associated Press ticker in the press box gave out a message saying airplanes identified as Japanese have attacked the American naval base at Pearl Harbor. The players continued the game. Knowing nothing of the attack, the Giants lost, but went on to play the Chicago Bears in the NFL championship game in 1941. They got killed 37-9. On October 11, 2015, the Giants honored Lummus by inducting him into the New York Giants Ring of Honor. His military career. After the championship game, Lummus enlisted in the Marines, the Marine Reserve, on January 30th, 1942. After finishing basic training in the Main Side Recruit Training Center in San Diego, California, he was assigned to Camp Elliott, which was 10 miles north of San Diego. There he joined I remember this. He joined the Devil Dogs, the San Diego Marine Baseball Club. Devil Dogs. I love the name. In May 1942, he was sent to the busy seaport of Mare Island as a military policeman. There he joined another baseball club. On June 10th, he was promoted to private first class, and 2 months later, he was promoted to corporal. On October 18th, he enrolled at the Officers Training School at Quantico, Virginia. He graduated on December 18th and received a commission as a second lieutenant. He was sent back to California and was assigned to the elite Marine Raiders at Camp Pendleton, where the Marine Raiders were dissolved. When the Marine Raiders were dissolved, he was assigned to the 27th Marines, 5th Marine Division. In January 1944, he was assigned as Executive Officer, Company F, 2nd Battalion, 27th Marine. In August 1944, the division was transferred to Camp Tarawa outside of Hawaii, or in Hawaii. Lummus boarded the USS Henry Clay for the trip. After 4 months of training, the division was assigned to the V Amphibious Corps and would fly to take the island of Iwo Jima. Iwo Jima was, I mean, just, obviously what I've read and heard, and just unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable, the fighting. Iwo Jima. So Lummus was in the first wave of troops to land on Iwo Jima on February 19th, 1945. He landed at 9 a.m. on the beach known as Red 1. He and his platoon spent the next 2 weeks incessantly fighting the dug-in Japanese. His initial duty was a liaison officer for the 2nd Battalion, spotting targets on the slopes of Mount Suribachi for artillery and airstrikes. On March 6th, he was given command of Company's E's 3rd Rifle Platoon. On March 8th, his platoon was spearheading a final assault on an objective east of Kitano Point, near the northern edge of the island. Despite minor wounds received from grenade fragmentation, Lummus knocked out 3 enemy strongholds, well-fortified positions arranged to defend each other, which were preventing his platoon from reaching its objective. Following this action, he stepped on a landmine and was mortally wounded, losing both his legs. While laying on the ground, he urged his platoon on until he was carried off to an aid station. At the aid station, he famously told the doctor, Thomas M. Brown, "Well, Doc, I think the Giants lost the services of a mighty good end today." He was transferred to the field hospital where he underwent surgery and a transfusion of 18 pints of blood, but died of internal wounds on the operating table. He was buried in the Plot 5, Row 13, grave 1244 in the 5th Division Cemetery. His body was later moved to Ennis, Texas. In a letter to his mother, Lummus's commanding officer wrote, "Jack suffered very little, for he did not live long. I saw Jack soon after he was hit. Calmness, serenity, and complacency." Jack said, "The Giants lost the services of a darn good end today." And he wrote to his mother, "We all lost a good man." So that was Jack Lummus, passed away March 8th, 1945, at the unbelievable age of only 29 years old. Unbelievable. Played 9 games for the Giants. He's in there. He's inducted into the Giants Ring of Honor. Brave man. So then the second one is Al Blozis. He played a little over. Oh, Teddy. My man, I need Penn Quaker history. Jets and Eagles have tied when Kabul Airport watched Raiders lose in Afghan vet. Oh, thank you. Afghan vet. Thank you. Oh, I'm honored. Fantastic. Thank you. Both of you guys. Thank you. Absolutely fantastic. I hope more people, brave men and women like you, hope this video gets out to more people. That's fantastic. I'll be doing the same thing this time next year. It's going to be the same. It's going to be the same video. So, but Al Blozis. All right. If you ever wonder why you never saw number 32 being worn by a New York Giants player, it goes to Al Blozis. They retired his number 32. He played a little over 2 seasons for the Giants. He played 1942, 1943. He was a tackle. He was played on I guess he was a tackle, I guess, on the offensive line and the defensive line. I guess he was a defensive tackle. But he was 6'6". He was huge. He was tall. He was like 250 pounds, 6'6". Very good offensive lineman. He was an All-Pro in his rookie season at right tackle. He was an All-Pro, and he was he went to the Pro Bowl his rookie season. He was an All-Pro in his second season. His second season, he was an All-Pro in 1943. He played in 10 games. So he played a grand total of 23 games for the Giants. He played in 23. He started all 23 at tackle. But he was on the offensive tackle and the defensive tackle. But as an offensive tackle, here it says right tackle, but he was, a lot of people said he might have been one of the best ever. Now it's hard to say, but at 6'6", 250 pounds back in 1942, that's a big specimen of a human being back then. Let me tell you what. But he was a heck of an athlete. All right. So here we have Albert Charles Blozis. He was born January 5th, 1919. Passed away January 31st, 1945. Or I think that's, as I read this story, I think he disappeared on January 31st. Nobody knows exactly, I don't think, when he died, because he disappeared. They found his bullet-riddled body in April, a couple months later. So exactly when he passed away, they're guessing. It was, I don't want to say guessing, but maybe they have some type of evidence. But he went to save, or a couple of his guys went on a patrol. They never came back. He went to go find them. He never came back. They found his bullet-riddled body a couple months later. So, but anyway, he was an All-American. He was an American football player and track and field athlete who died fighting in World War II. He played offensive tackle for the New York Giants in the National Football League. Albert Charles Blozis, known as Al, was born on January 5th, 1919, in Garfield, New Jersey. I'm in South Jersey, so that's Garfield's up north. To some Lithuanian immigrants. He attended William L. Dickinson High School in Jersey City, where he became well known for his skill in the discus throw and shot put. Oh my goodness, this guy was freaking amazing, absolutely amazing. At Georgetown University, he won the AAU and NCAA indoor and outdoor shot titles 3 years in a row. So basically, as like a freshman or a sophomore, or whatever, he's winning like the American title. He's just, he was unbelievable. He had a best shot put of 57 3/4 of an inch. In 2015, Blozis was inducted into the National Track and Field Hall of Fame. I don't know why it took him so long, but at least he's in there. His professional and football career. Blozis was drafted in the 5th round of the 1942 NFL draft and played offensive tackle for the New York Giants of the National Football League in 1942 and 43 before entering the military. So Jack Lummus played 1941, and he only played 9 games. So Al Blozis played just after him, 42, 43, and 2 games in 19. He was out on furlough for a couple games, and he came back and played for the Giants in 1944 for 2 games. Let's see here. He was also able to play in 2 games in the 1944 season while out on furlough for the Giants. 1944, they went to the championship game. They lost 14-7 to the Green Bay Packers. They certainly could have used his services, but the armed forces and America could use his services even more. So World War II and death. In a 1991 news story, the New York Times wrote, curiously, the very size that made him so intimidating on the football field kept him out of the military until late 1943. He was 6'6". They wouldn't let him in because of his size. After repeated attempts, Blozis finally persuaded the Army to waive its size limit and accept him. It took further persuading to get him from a desk job to the front lines. So after a while, they were like, okay, all right, you can come in. We'll stick you at the desk here, and everybody's happy. No, he wasn't happy. He wanted to serve his country. Blozis was inducted into the United States Army on December 9th, 1943. He was first assigned to duty as a physical instructor at Walter Reed General Hospital, and then went through officer training at Fort Benning, where he set the Army's hand grenade throwing record with a toss of almost 95 yards. That just goes to show you, 95 yards he tossed a hand grenade. Almost the length of a football field. He threw it 94 yards, 2 feet, 6.5 inches. You freaking throw a hand grenade almost 100 yards. He was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the 28th Infantry Division. On January 31st, 1945, his platoon was in the mountains of France, scouting enemy lines. When two of his men, a sergeant and a private, failed to return from a patrol, he went in search of them alone, and he never returned. Blozis was listed as missing, but in April 1945, his death was confirmed. His remains are buried at the Lorraine American Cemetery. And I also saw another here. Where is he at? Is it here? Okay, here we go. And there's another story here that talks about Al. Al wasn't happy as an instructor and lobbied to join the fighting in Europe. He was commissioned as a captain and sent to France. In January 1945, his platoon was in the mountains on the French-German border. When two of his men failed to return from a scouting mission, Al went after them alone. He was never seen alive again. Al's bullet-riddled body wasn't found until April of 1945. In 1986, though, long forgotten by most football fans, Al was enshrined in the College Football Hall of Fame, as well he darn well should have. So he's in the College Football Hall of Fame. He's in the Giants Ring of Honor. His number 32 is retired by the Giants, although he played what the heck did I say? Man, I'm so freaking stupid. What did I say? He played 23 games for the Giants, and his number is retired. But not only that, I mean, this is just it shows you how good he was. He basically played 2 seasons. In 1944, he played 2 games on furlough. All right, but as a tackle, right tackle, he played 2 seasons. He was on an NFL's 1940s all-decade team. He played 2 seasons at right tackle. He was on the all-decade team. He was that good. So, I mean, there was a video out. I saw a couple of videos on YouTube. There was one guy. I can't remember what the guy's name is, but he knows a lot about older sports, about like boxing, all kinds of stuff. Can't remember what the guy's name is, but I don't know how he know or figured this out, or other people were talking about it or whatever. But it said that he possibly could have been the best tackle ever. I don't know how they could have figured that, whatever. But 6'6", 250 pounds. That's a huge human being back in the early 40s, and he was an unbelievable athlete, absolutely unbelievable athlete. So, let's see here. It says, tipped off by his potential by their former players, the Giants took Al in the 5th round of the 1942 draft. He was an all-star as a rookie and earned all-pro honors in his 2nd season. Mel Hein, the all-pro center for the Giants, claimed that Al could have been the greatest tackle who ever played. Hein played beside Al on the offensive line and behind him on the defense because Al Blozis played on the defensive line, and Mel Hein played, I guess, like a linebacker, I guess, so to speak. So he played behind him on defense. But Mel Hein was a center, right? And Mel Hein would kind of know, right, if you want to say no talent. Why? Because Mel Hein in 1938 was the NFL's MVP as a center. Wrap your head around that one. As a center. I mean, he played defense too. But as a center, right? That's like John Michael Schmitz being the NFL MVP. You ever think that's going to happen? I mean, things are different now. I get it. The quarterbacks, and I get it. But 1938, Mel Hein, the Giants center, was the MVP of the league. So he would know a thing or two about talent, because Mel Hein is in the Hall of Fame. Mel Hein is in the Ring of Honor, and Mel Hein also has his number retired by the New York Giants. So Mel Hein, the center of the Giants back then, knows a thing or two about talent. He said Al Blozis, could have been one of the best, if not the best tackle ever. So, But that's Terrence. Respect to you for honoring these Giants. Oh yeah, they made the ultimate sacrifice. Oh yeah. Well, I mean that's the way it is. I mean, it's all kind of like what that saying that always just kind of hits me every time I read it about 9/11. All the people that showed up in 9/11, like in New York. I don't know who it was, but said all gave some gave all, and he obviously if you're in the army, you're giving some, that's for sure, but some give all. And these two gentlemen, I mean, as I said, if you look back, I mean, I got like over 700 videos, so it's I don't know if you could ever find these other ones, but this is the third time I've done these two guys. I just keep reading their stories. I did pretty good because last year I started crying while I was reading it. So, I think the first two times I started tearing up a little bit both when I was reading these guys. So I think it's the first time I actually made it through without crying. So I think maybe I'm just reading the story over and over. I'm not getting used to it, or whatever. But yeah, Teddy, salute. Thanks for your service. Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you. So that's going to wrap it up for here. But there's nothing going on. I think there's nothing going on Monday. So I think Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday they got the OTAs this week, and I think Patricia Traina said something like she's going to be there. I think Wednesday. I think that's when the media can be there, is Wednesday. But there's obviously Memorial Day. There's nothing going on tomorrow. So any videos I'll be doing tomorrow will be my 98 for 98 series. But so I won't be doing nothing tomorrow, but I'll be back on Tuesday night. But as always, hey, whoever spent any time, Terrence and Teddy, thank you. And once again, thank you for your service. Thank you. It's because of you guys I get to do this. And it don't get any better than this, right? Talking Giants football. How freaking awesome is that? I'm in my pajamas talking Giants football. So as always, guys, thank you. If anybody watches the replay this, once again, thank you. As always, thank you so much to the brave men and women of our armed services, our armed forces, because without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do this. Thank you. As always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.